Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, wonderful, wonderful individual you. Today, I would like to speak about with inner calmness, it is far easier to guide and to be creative with our thoughts so that our emotions can follow and we can come into a certain state of, well, it is gratitude, as I mentioned. And the more we truly feed into these things daily, consistently, we nourish our own soul and spirit with, well, what the gods connect with us. For by connecting to the creativity, to the enlivening of the world, to the inner harmony, and also a certain amount of trust with the world, life, and whatever might come, we become creative in our living, in our everyday, day to day life. And we try to find what brings life and, well, sustenance for our inner being every day. What brings health, what brings inner vitality and a vigor, so that one can meet life in a certain energetic and with a certain enthusiastic mood, being enthused about the many varieties of life if we can, the best we can. And to do so, one needs to find what is good, what is beautiful, and what truly brings about a certain amount of joy and awe, and at the same time also being aware of what shadow is cast, and to hold oneself strong to one's inner qualities of values, and holding oneself balanced in the middle point, for we are kind of in between the soft and the hard, in between, well, it is a pole and we kind of are in the middle of that pole balancing. It is more like we are a scale, the fulcrum of the scale, and we balance the two arms, holding them in equilibrium. For if we don't, we go to one of the two extremes, and it is easy to get lost there and also become very biased instead of objectively observing things as they are. Opinions can be put on later, but it is about seeing what is occurring directly without putting too much connotation on it, for that is how you see what is truly happening. Although one needs to train oneself to be able to do so, and that is okay. It requires practice. But the practice is in on itself requires conscious activity. And this conscious activity is what we bring into the world again, the spirit, the active work of the soul and body. So our capital I is slowly but surely purifying and ennobling our other bodies, our other sheaths, if we should call it that, the physical, etheric, and astral. And by working upon with our own inner being, connecting to our, well, second human being, as we can call it, for when we elaborate inward and come to ourselves, it is you gain a certain amount of freedom, and it is difficult to explain. You will have to experience it yourself to the fullest to truly come into that joy of creation. But also holding oneself earthly and to the reality and to the sense perceptible around us, so we do not lose grip of reality. For reality around us is the revelation of the spirit. And for us to find out what kind of revelation, what kind of beings are behind all of this, how they are building up all of this, how the creative forces of both form, movement, and wisdom comes together to shape all around us, and for us to awaken imagination enough so that we can connect to those forces again, is kind of it's a journey, to say the least, and that journey is always worth taking. For in the end, you become a deeper and more expanded human being. You get to learn about life more because you are dynamic and active and grab the life by the hand and dances with life. For Christ is life. Christ is love. Love is life. And the more we come into that feeling of gratitude for life, for being alive, for awakening up in the morning and just having a thought of gratitude, it is a good feeling. It is a feeling that should be cherished. For it's not always that feeling can be, well, grasped onto. Sometimes we have a heavy karma we need to clear up in and going through inwardly, and it is not always an easy life. And that is why the respites of gratitude is important to cherish and to nurture. For the more we nurture it, the more we are capable of holding to that state of being even in the heaviest of times. That is also kind of why we do this work, so that we can truly come into a certain harmony and confidence in life. Being able to work into the world with both constructive and also healing forces. For life has many mysteries to be solved, and the more curious and awe-inspired we are, the more life reveals itself to us. For if we only passively, idly try to find the truth behind everything, we will never find it. For, well, the higher worlds are not passive. They are active just like our thoughts can be when we bring mobility and inner force to it, in a sense. Guiding our own thoughts, cooperating with our own thoughts, purifying our own thoughts, so that less and less annoyances and grievances and pains and such infiltrates our thoughts, so that our thoughts can be as constructive and creative as possible, and not bogging ourselves down in things we cannot do anything about at the moment, but working towards the future will in the end bring about a certain healing to these things. It is about the patience, knowing and having a trust in, the higher worlds and the wise guidance of the world. For that trust is irreplaceable. You can wake up every day and have a certain amount of, and that is what's so important about this work. Of course, this is not only for that inner stability of our own, but also sharing with others the same things if it is possible. For we wish also to, for others to earn the joy of becoming alive and awake within themselves. For just being alone doing this, there's no use. Without humanity, this work would be useless, and that is the beauty of it. We need each other, and that is also, well, something we are presented with today as both a challenge and, challenges to be overcome. And that requires activity, and this activity comes through practice. So meditation every day, using our inner faculties for, well, anything the higher world might inspire us to do, for they are very good at doing so. And also we try to find out for ourselves what we like, what our interests are, what we dislike, and search for every incarnation. We have different likes and dislikes, and we are to explore all of this while we are here, since we do have different lifetimes every time we come down here. And that is also really fun, for it would be boring if we were the same person every time we came down with the same interests and the same dislikes. We would never go beyond and learn anything new. But by changing our interests a little, we come to see the different sections and different aspects of reality too. And that is also how we become more able to see the different variations and differences and varieties and variables, having a certain meticulous mind, and having the state of a scientist, but at the same time a state of reverence too, like a priest. So you become an artist. An artist is in between the priest and the scientist. The creative, you create in sacrifice, and you are free to do so too, because you have chosen to create something. That is the beauty of life, and that is what I will leave you with today. Thank you so much for listening to me. You beautiful, beautiful human being, you. May you be protected, guided, blessed, loved on your amazing journey, and may you be provided for with all that you need to survive, live, thrive, being creative, inspirational, and healing to the world, so the world can follow when the time is right, and the courage is at most high. And may you be safe and sound. Love you. See you. Goodbye.